That's when you get to be really crazy. So.
Yeah.
And next question. I'm going to let somebody else pick because I don't want to pick.
I don't like picking. Oh, he's waving his hand over there. I'm going to pick him then.
Yeah, waving hands works.
He's doing this.
Oh, do you know what panel this is?
This is an audio. This is voiceover direction.
No, yeah, this is more about voice direction.
This is audio, not
and
talking about
tech
video stuff.
Yeah.
No, there's video, but we aren't in charge of that.
I mean, if we're talking about stuff specific to anime, you know, some dude in Japan did that. You know what I mean?
We're just doing the audio.
We're talking about working with the
ADR
direction, that kind of thing. I mean,
we don't handle the video.
Okay.
I can talk about audio.
Become an actor first.
You be an actor, yeah.
Any acting training you can get is the operative word in voice acting is not voice. It is acting.
Absolutely.
And
most, I mean, I don't know that I know of anyone who is only a voice actor.
No.
Everyone that I know that is on this panel has done more than just voice acting, also stage acting and on camera, and is striving to continue to do all of those things.
Yeah.
Because, and I've said this many times, but if you want to be in the entertainment industry, you cannot limit yourself to just one form of it. You really need to know.
Unless you're independently wealthy.
Right, exactly.
But that still hurt you because those other things feed into other things.
Any chance you can get to act, any chance you can get to study with someone, any chance you can get to learn a new skill as an actor, definitely voice classes help. I absolutely recommend improvisation training. Anything you can get that will serve you. And then it is a matter of sometimes a good break. I mean, we've all been very lucky to kind of fall backwards into something that was a unique fit.
True.
But all of us have worked, you know, extensively in many other mediums in performing.
Is that a part-time job because you bring up money in just voice acting?
It's still a part-time job. Voice acting?
Yeah.
It's still a part-time
The
job.
misconception about voice acting is that we make a ton of money. We're voice actors. We make less than the lady who says welcome to Walmart, and she gets benefits.
Yeah, Sean and I talked about this on Friday in our panel, sort of the little scared straight thing about the voice acting. And that's, you know, listen, for a lot of the non-union stuff, you get paid hourly, okay? And the hourly can be very good, especially if you look at that hourly as if you got it 40 hours a week. You know, oh, I'm making a ton of money, but you don't. You get it for an hour, you know, or 2 hours, or whatever.
A week or possibly a month.
The lead, you know, like Ash in Pokemon, I mean, it only takes 2 to 3 hours per episode to record that dialogue.
And you record 1 or 2 episodes a week, and
that's it. You know, even if you're in like an original union cartoon, and I'm not even talking about like, because if it's the foreign dubbing contract, forget it. That pay stinks. But even if you get like a union day rate, let's say you make about $1,000 a day on the thing, right? How many days are you going to work? How many episodes are there? Not everything, like Pokemon is 52 episodes every season. It's like every week there's a new one. But most original cartoon series, there's 13 or 20 or maybe 26. You know what I mean? So it's a great gig and it's a nice piece of the pie. But it is not the whole pie. Unless, you know, if you're Nancy Cartwright and you're playing Bart Simpson, that's a different story. She earned her way up there, you know?
Yeah, they didn't start with that kind of thing.
And tied into that, you also, especially people that want to be voice actors, you have to be very careful. There's so many, and I will say this because it's none of the people here. There are so many people in our industry and in our occupation that are so ready to scam you and sell you a backdoor into the industry. And what that is someone who is looking at you as their own personal ATM machine, and it sickens me. I teach acting. I'm a guest artist with 9 different schools in Houston. I teach acting. I don't teach voice acting. I don't. I mean, I maybe could, but right now with the state the industry is in, it is harder now to get work to become a voice actor for someone new than it has ever been in years. Because there's, especially for anime, because there is less and less work. coming out because obviously because of the BitTorrent and downloading.
The
production shutdowns in Japan. I mean, so many studios in Japan have closed. And here's the thing. I will just say this. Let's say you were a brand new voice actor. Let's say you had a very low peak voice. Well, as a producer, am I going to take a risk on you, who is an unknown quantity, who we don't know, when Richard might get it, or Michael might get it? When there you've got an actor with a proven track record that they can come in, they can get the job done, they can do the job really well. So now that there's a lot less work overall in everywhere, it is harder and harder for new people to get in. It used to be a point when it'd be hard to book someone like Richard or Rena or Tom or any of us because we're all working so much. A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now we've all got a lot of free time to work. So all of a sudden these people that you may not have been able to get in the past are very easy to get. And so that makes it harder and harder. I say if you've got a dream of something, don't ever give up on it. Hold on to any dream you have with both hands. But you have to approach it realistically. You have to get any amount of training that you can.
Well, I want to add to that, though, because I agree with you about, and I like to inspire for dreams, and I like to tell a story, but I'm not going to because it's too long. There is a point where you need to realistically decide if you're not good at it anymore. And there's a couple of voice actors I know in New York, and I'll go nameless, and they love it, and they try so hard, and they come in, and they're just terrible, and they don't get any better. And they go, should I keep doing this? And I want to say, follow your dream, and then part of me wants to go, you're just not good at this. And they're really bad, and they have to figure it out themselves to whether or not they're good at it. Because some people love it and don't realize that they're just not getting any better. They're not getting any work over a period of time. Yeah,
right.
Well,
and encourage people to be honest with you. There was a girl that we know, and a couple of you may know her, I don't know, who really wanted to be a voice actress. She really wanted to be. In fact, she was going to be the next Monica Rial, and she left med school.
Big mistake.
And her fiance to move to Houston to be a voice actress, to be the next Monica Rial. And no one in her life, no family member, no friend, no fiance, had the guts to tell her that she had such a horrific speech impediment lisp.
Oh.
And so she came in, and of course her audition at ADV was with one of the smarmiest directors they had, and all he did was laugh. Oh yeah, we'll be seeing you. And he didn't laugh in her face. But she gave up med school, she gave up her fiance to come, and it was because nobody said, sweetie, maybe you could, but you need to get some speech therapy.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of this, because if this is all you've got, that's the only one character you're going to be able to play.
You know, my attitude toward voice acting is that I just keep doing it and people keep hiring me.
Yeah.
I can't judge it enough to go, I'm so great, I'm going to keep going. I'm like, if I keep getting hired, I guess I must be good at this. That's kind of how I look at it.
Well, that brings us back to what Chris was saying. And the thing is, you need to really train like an athlete trains for the Olympics. You need to be the best actor you can be. Because when you do go in that booth for the first time and nobody knows who you are and you suck, they'll never ask you back.
Never.
So when you have that opportunity, you better be prepared. Yeah,
because we always say that, it's always, being in the right place at the right time. But if you're in that right place at the right time and you don't have the skills and the training, you've wasted that opportunity.
Yes.
Because that may be the only one that you will ever get.
Also, and I've had this happen in auditions, too, and I'm sure probably everybody else here has. If someone comes into audition, I tend to see a lot of new people because I love bringing fresh talent in. But I cannot tell you how many times I have been in an audition situation, and I said, okay, I need you to read this scene. I just want to hear it in your normal voice. And they do their impression of God. I'm like, okay, cool, you can do the Andy Serkis thing. Let's go. And I just want to hear it in your own voice. And then they read it like Cartman or Stan or something. And I go through about 4 or 5 takes, and I've not yet heard their voice, their own voice. And all that tells me as a director, yes, they're trying to impress the director with range and stuff like that. But all that tells me as a director is that person can't take direction, and it's not someone.
Yeah, they're hiding behind this thing. They're hiding behind,
right?
They're not connecting with the material. And you get people who are new sometimes, and what they do, and this is a rookie mistake that you're not playing the voice. No. You're playing the character.
Thank you.
Okay, the character happens to have this voice that sounds like whatever. But you're not playing the voice, you're playing the character. And that's what you need to focus on. People who are, because you'll have people who come in who are really great mimics, but that's not acting. You know, and you can, being a good mimic is not a bad skill to have.
No.
Sean's a good mimic, but Sean can also act, and that's the thing. Is that you're not playing the voice, you're playing the character. That's what you need to focus on.
I totally agree with you, but as you were talking, I was thinking, for me, because I do a lot of mimicry, and I'm lucky and blessed in the fact that I'm versatile. I like to fuse the two. The character has a voice, the voice feeds that, and the character, and they kind of feed each other, kind of a feedback loop in my head. I don't know how the way I can describe it. And then they kind of become the character. But really, you're absolutely right. Fundamentally.
I have to agree with Tom. I do a lot of dialect. And
Yeah.
it's all about the character. The dialect is the secondary concern.
Yeah, but if the dialect sucks, it'll just ruin the suspension of disbelief.
I agree.
Well, but when you're
So they
creating
both
a
gotta be
character, when you're creating a character, I mean, you get that. Once you've got the voice down, you just put it in your pocket. You don't think about it because
Right,
that's the way. When all of us speak, we don't think about exactly the tone of my voice, the way I pronounce everything. I mean, you just go, you do, and you act. And
But you got to get that comfortable with a dialect or an accent, so you feel like it's your own skin.
If you're doing something particularly strange,
You just got to concentrate on the acting. And if you are strong enough with your dialect work, you don't think about that.
But
You
if
just
I
think of the acting.
need to reference Robin Hood, Prince of Cheese, Kevin Costner's British accent completely, or lack thereof, so completely ruined that film. So on the one hand, it is about the acting. That's true. But if you don't get that accent or character thing right, everybody's going to go, I don't believe this.
On a totally different end of the spectrum, there are tons of voice actors that literally just use their voice.
Yes,
and they're just very good actors.
True.
Absolutely.
So once again, it's not that's a really awesome skill to have, to be able to do dialects and voices and all that.
You're absolutely right.
But you can still have a career just using your own voice.
Most of the stuff I've done, and you can't hear it now, is either my speaking voice pitched a little bit higher or pitched a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And most of what I do is my own voice.
I think for me, because I love changing my voice so much, directors have to tell me, I don't believe this is really cool, it'll be great. They're like, no, just do this, because that's my thing. But I agree with all my colleagues here. And there's a voice actress I know in New York who doesn't do nearly as many voices as I do, but works just as much as I do, because she's just so freaking good, And so it's good to have both, if you can do it, but the main thing is always acting. I totally agree with everybody.
The operative word is acting. The operative word in voice acting is acting.
Because I will say this, in contradiction to my previous comment, if you're acting the shit out of it, then if it's really that good, then the emotion will be so powerful that the audience will forget about the fact that your dialect is crappy. If you're that good. But you got to be really good.
We're getting the signal to
we got to wrap. We got to wrap.
Any final thoughts from each person?
Well, did you have?
Oh yeah, actually, that's right. I did. I did this. Eric Vale did this on a directing panel that we did not long ago. I just want people to go down the table. We'll start with Michael at the end since he hasn't said much. What is a trick that you use as a director? It's always nice to find something that another director uses.
What kind of trick? Give us an example.
Like when I work with Taliesin makes it easier on his engineers. If you need to do a series of reacts, let's say I've got one reaction I want, I'm just going to say, give me 5 reacts wild. Taliesin will spike between each react. And I can't do much here, but he'll go, and what that does for your engineer is create a spike.
Oh, yeah.
In the thing. The one that I was going to say this time, the last time I was working with a brand new voice actress, and I could not get it. The character was incredibly nervous and tense, and I couldn't get it, and I went, hang on, I'm not having to worry about any sort of physicality. I'm just having to worry about what I hear. I had the actress, as she was doing the dialogue, press both hands together, as hard as she could, and it created a tension in the body that you could hear in the voice, and then it gave me exactly what I needed. It's like Matt Greenfield's. Matt always has people, if they're taking a punch or something, he has you go up on your toes, and as long as you got that before. And so when you hit it down, what that drop does is it compresses your diaphragm in a way that you can't do on your own, and you'll get a sound that is a much more.
Well, I wish I'd known that after 297 episodes of fighting. That made it a lot easier.
But what's something that everybody does? I just wanted to know.
It's a very general trick, but it's something I learned from Christopher Bevins, who was the first director to direct me. And the very first role I did, I was incredibly nervous. And I was so nervous doing it that I couldn't focus on the acting. And Chris said the most helpful thing to me. He said, look, stop trying to not be nervous because it's distracting you from the character. Just use it. Use what you're feeling right now and make it part of this character. And then, so I've learned with working with new people, I will get them to just look, don't try to convince me you're not nervous or that you don't feel how you feel or that you've not had a bad day. Just learn to own it and then we will use it.